Jesse, it's draft day. You were drafted by the Texas Rangers back in 2002 in the 42nd round.
Yes.
Tell me how you found out that you were drafted and what that day was like for you and your family.
Just got a phone call saying that you've been drafted by Texas in the 42nd round and whatever pick it was at the time, and I'm like, okay, cool. I was still in college, they wanted me to go as a draft and follow back for my sophomore year. And I was okay with that. I don't think I was ready mentally or physically ready to go and be on the grind for the 162 or what we were trying to do, or what you were trying to get to at that point. But it was just one of those things that I was like, okay, the opportunity's there now. It's time for you to take a little bit of advantage of it and put yourself in a good spot.
I know I'm probably dating us both here, but that, believe it or not, was 14 years ago. It's been a long journey for you and a testament that you're still here playing at the highest level of the sport. What do you think, as far as being in the minor league system, what level did you think you found to be a bigger learning curve for you?
I think AA was probably the biggest transition for me as far as understanding what I need to do before the game, during the game, and after the game. To be ready the next day. And I think the level of competition was getting better. You had guys coming from either AAA down or from the big leagues down, depending on if the club was close or not. And so, it gave you a little bit of a challenge, so to speak, in AA. And I kind of got overwhelmed with the way I was throwing the ball when I got called up, and I was just trying to overthrow because the ball was coming out pretty hot, and I was just one of those things where, it'll humble you, and you just got to start learning how to pitch.
Speaking of hot, over your last 5 appearances, you've been outstanding, Jesse. You look different from the first time we saw you earlier this season. How does Jesse Chavez know his mechanics are sound? Like, what tells you? Is there any tells?
There's one little tell. Usually it starts with my hands. They tend to get away from me a little bit, which I think was a problem in May and, the end of April. And then it was just getting back to my lower half. If my lower half is strong and in a solid foundation, then the upper half has to follow. And I think I got a little bit away from that and started feeling a little bit in that San Francisco game, the 2 innings, and it just slowly trickled down from there, just a bad habit that came back. And it's something that, we all have bad habits that we have to fight through during the season that we have to make adjustments with.
Can you generally tell, Jesse, when you're warming up in the bullpen, whether you've got it that day?
Yes. There'll be a pitch where it just comes out and I didn't even feel the ball come off my fingertips. And that's something you want to look for when you're getting ready down in the bullpen, and it's mostly off of a fastball. And if you get a good fastball command down there, everything else will play off that because your arm is in a good slot and you're in a good position.
You've said that you wanted to stay over your backside a little bit more, keep your head steady. That way your pitches are more down in the zone. Are you being more conscious of that?
Yes. And it's from the time I get the sign to the split second I replay it in my head before I start my delivery. That's something that it just slows the game down and I don't get sped up, and that speeding up means I'm speeding up mechanically and everything will be flatter and up in the zone at that point. So I just try and visualize it before it happens and go from there.
All right, Jesse Chavez, keep doing what you're doing. 5 straight scoreless outings for Jesse Chavez. Back to you guys.